Howdy folks, Spencer here, and today I want to talk to you about the latest batch of news for STO on both PC and console. As always, chapters are listed down below if you want to skip ahead to any specific topic. The first thing I want to mention this week is the only console exclusive news that there is right now, and that is that those of you on console are getting a Red Alert event from June 6th up through June 13th. This is a 1 week long Red Alert event, so if you participate in it for 5 of the 7 days, you will get an ultimate tech upgrade and a specialization point. And as always, if you're looking to get through it as fast as possible, the Borg or Tholian red alerts are going to be your best bet. And moving on, the next bit of news here impacts all platforms, and that is that from today, June 2nd, up through June 4th, there is a 25% key sale and a return of the 20 keyring bundle in the C store. So if you have been waiting to pick up some master keys, this is basically as good of a discount as they tend to give. They have done like a 31% off like once or twice before, but realistically, 25% off is about as good as you're going to typically see here. So if you've been waiting to pick up some keys to maybe go in and sell to get EC or to gamble, now would be a good time to do so. However, if you're on PC, I do just want to note that we are very likely going to have a promotional pack event sometime this month. The current prediction is that the Titan A or the Enterprise G is going to be added to the promotional packs here on PC sometime later this month. It could be next week, it could be near the end of the month. I don't know exactly when, but that is the current expectation, is that that ship is going to be added to the promo packs this month. And if that does happen, then the promo packs will return to the C store, and those do give you a bit more EC for your money if you're looking to put money into the game to get energy credits. So just keep that in mind if you are looking to get EC with your money. That promo packs are always a better money to EC conversion than master keys. It's just that you have to wait for those promo pack events to be live in order to pick those packs up. And for the PC patch this week, they resolved an issue where the images for the Captain Picard bundle and the DS9 bundle were appearing in the preset costume list of the tailor. And they resolved an issue with some captains being unable to finish that new set of Omega Reputation projects to unlock the additional skins for the Omega Rep ground armors that I talked about last week. And there's a known issue that some ships are still not appearing properly positioned on the character select screen. So with these patch notes, and with any patch notes they do, it's important to note that they don't ever actually give us the full patch notes. So there were some changes made to a bunch of the lobby items with this recent change, or with this recent patch. So what those changes have done is they have updated many of the item names to correctly match what you would see from other items in the game. Like before, the tachyokinetic converter console was just named console-tachyokinetic converter, and it's been updated to have the modern naming scheme, so it says console universal tachyokinetic converter. And then if I go in game here, I want to see quick if they have fixed the complex plasma fire trait off the Gorn Hunter. This trait has been having some issues since its release a couple weeks ago, and the big issue was that if you used it with beam arrays or dual beam banks under fire at will, the trait was applying per shot rather than per stack. So I want to go through and just see if they have fixed that quick. So I'm gonna hit fire at will and shoot, and that appears to still not be fixed because it should be giving me... Basically, there should only be 2 stacks on the target right now, and there's about 20 after me just shooting it a couple times there. So complex plasma fire, going on 3 weeks now that is still bugged. And I don't know if they have fixed strike group command authority from the Hydra yet, so let me test that real quick as soon as it lets me change traits here. So Strike Group Command Authority was having some issues where it wasn't working with everything, and they've tried to fix it a couple times, but haven't seemed to have been successful. And a couple weeks ago, it looks like it just completely broke and stopped giving the buff at all. And yeah, you can see I've got Strike Group Command Authority on right now, and my pets have no buff from it on. So it does look like Strike Group is also currently bugged. So these are things, there's many things I wish that they would list on the known issues here. Um, and I would wish they would give us a more comprehensive set of patch notes here, because there's clearly been quite a few things that, were changed that weren't noted. And then, there's obviously quite a few things that are broken that if they just stated they were broken to let people know would be very, very helpful. Let's move on to the next bit of news now. For those of us on PC, they are going to be doing a Temporal Recruit event starting up on June 8th, and this will run through the 29th. Now, I'm going to be doing a video going over the rewards from the Temporal Recruit event in a bit more detail, but I just want to remind all of you that you don't have to do all of the recruit tasks during this time frame. Rather, all that you have to do between June 8th and the 29th is make a TOS character and go through the tutorial and first couple of missions to get the device. Once you have that recruit device in your inventory, you can do the task whenever you want during or outside of the event. This is simply the time frame for you to make that character. Now, the temporal recruits are some of the best recruits that you can make, and if you are a new player or a returning player that does not yet have a temporal recruit, they have a ton of rewards, which again I'll be covering in a bit more detail. But one of the notable ones here, if I can find it on this page, is that if you complete the reputations on a temporal recruit, you can get an account-wide unlock. And I'm sorry, if you get the reputations up to tier 5 on a temporal recruit, you don't even have to take them all the way up to tier 6. There is an additional reward for getting to tier 6, but the big one's at T5 here. So if you get all of your reputations up to tier 5 on a temporal recruit, you'll get an unlock that will be account-wide that will make all of your future reputation gear purchases come out as Mark 13 ultra rare rather than Mark 12 very rare. So you're getting a higher quality and higher mark of reputation gear when you complete rep projects versus what you had before. So it's a hugely impactful unlock there. And as you can see here, what that means is when you're going through and wanting to upgrade, say, like the Discovery rep set or any other piece from any reputation, it's already Mark 13 ultra rare right off the bat. So that is saving you quite a bit of resources. And the big thing is to note, it won't retroactively apply to projects you had running prior. So if you have a project up that will give you something at Mark 12 very rare, and you get that unlock, that will not automatically upgrade. You'll have to cancel it and restart it to get the Mark 13 ultra rare. And if you already have reputation gear, then that's not going to be upgraded with this. You would have to rerun the project to get the Mark 13 ultra rare version. So it is a good way to save you quite a bit of resources on future rep gear purchases, and it's an account-wide unlock. I can go to any of my characters on my account, and whenever I go and get reputation gear on them now, it is going to be that Mark 13 ultra rare there. And again, that's all that requires is you going through and completing 10 reputations up to tier 5 on a temporal recruit character. So that's fairly easy to do, and there are some other nice rewards like lots of marks and lots of dilithium that you can get from this, and there's lots of nice account-wide things, so stay tuned for my video going over that. And again, if you have not made a temporal recruit, you really should go out and do that when this event starts. Again, that's going to be PC only. I don't know when they're going to do this on console, but it does seem that this year at least, they have swapped around the order of the Gamma and Temporal recruit events. If you look back last year, they had the Gamma in this time frame, and I'm guessing the reason that they're doing the Temporal recruit now is because the recent arc fits in with this recruit event. So again, take advantage of it if you have not already made a character. And if you're interested in any TOS themed items in the C store, they will all be 30% off from June 8th through the 15th. So take advantage of that if you're interested. And the last bit of news for today is that Cryptic has announced the third event in the year-long event campaign for 2023, and this is the Flagship Celebration event, and it will be arriving to PC on June 8th and will be running through the 29th. Now, they've got quite a bit in this blog here, but I do have it all summarized up in a notepad to simplify it. So this is, again, the third event in the year-long event campaign. So if you want to get your progression, this event is going to help you out there. And you're still going to have another 2 events throughout the year where you can continue to earn more campaign progress. And it's running for 21 days, like any of the other event campaign events have. The buyout cost for these has went up to 2,500 Zen, or $25. In prior years, it was $20, but for whatever reason, Cryptic did decide to charge more this year. The TFO options for this specific event are going to be Borg Disconnected, Jupiter Eratus, Swarm, or Synthwave, and you just have to play one of those a day to get your daily progress for this specific event and for the event campaign. And technically, you can do it every 20 hours, so if you really want to get as much progression done as possible throughout the 21 days of this event, then you can set a timer and do it every 20 hours if you wanted. If you play this event for 14 of the 21 days, you can get the following rewards: a Holo-Beverly Bridge Officer, and you can see the visuals in the blog here, and I'll have a link to the blog down in the description below if you want to look at the picture in more detail. But she does have a unique trait here called "A Lot's Happened in the Last 20 Years." This is a throwback to the quote she said on the final episode of Picard. And what this trait does, it is a space trait, is it has 2 effects. The first is that it will reduce the recharge time of your bridge officer abilities each second after you activate a beam or torpedo firing mode. They don't specify how much cooldown reduction that is here, though. And the second effect that it has is that it also applies a torpedo high yield, rank 1, immediately after you activate a shield or hull repair. So these are pretty neat effects of this trait here, but it's a question of how good it is. You know, how much cooldown reduction are we getting from that side of the trait? And is there a lockout? Is there a time restriction on how often you can get these torpedo high yield ones? You know, sometimes these things will have a lockout where you may only be able to get like one thing every 15, 20, 30 seconds. So that's not specified in the blog, and the numbers that they have on both sides here, how much cooldown reduction it provides, and whether or not there's a lockout on how many high yields you can get from this in a certain time frame, are going to greatly impact the value of this bridge officer. I do like the concept of this, though, and it does look interesting, so I would highly recommend everyone go out and pick it up if you can. And if you don't want to play the event, again, there is a buyout option, but that is a bit expensive for a bridge officer and a device here. So the device here is the Fleet Flagship Distress Frequency. This is a passive device, which I assume means that it doesn't have to be slotted on your ship. It can be in your inventory or in your bank and still affect you. And what this does is it will summon in the flagship of your faction when you activate fleet support. Now, this also doesn't specify, is this replacing the ships that you get from fleet support, or is it adding the flagship into the ships that you would get from fleet support? So I don't know exactly how that's going to work, but that is another thing that could impact the value of this. There may be situations where you want those other ships. So We'll have to wait and see how both the device and the bridge officer perform. And I do want to just remind all of you that after you have done the 14 days to get the bridge officer and the device, you can continue playing each day afterwards up through the end of the event to get additional dilithium and also extra event campaign progress. A lot of people stop playing these events as soon as they get the 14 days of the event done. And what that means is that you're left quite far behind when it comes to the event campaign progress. There's quite a few of you out there that are probably sitting at like 1400 progress right now. And had you continued playing these prior events every day after you finish the 14 days of those specific events, you know, there's a week left on both of them, you could have earned additional progress. So just keep that in mind. You can keep going after the 14 days and earn an additional 50 progress every single day up through the end of the event. So if you want to get this event campaign done faster, to get your ship, the T6 coupons, or the Lobi, then make sure you're playing it every single day. And that's going to be it for this video today. Again, thank you to all channel members and viewers for the continued support. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them down below. Until next time, see you guys around.